You want answers?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
You want answers?
You have offended my family.
I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth.
And you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
You can't handle the truth.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hoorah!
Radical rant.
54 after the hour, and this little rant goes out to a whole bunch of people. It comes from a news story here from the San Jose Mercury News that reports that drug agents in the recent weeks have raided 3 local medical marijuana providers in San Jose. Several other collectives, including Harborside Health Center, Stevie D'Angelo's Harborside Health Center, one of the area's largest and best established, have simply closed, fearing an imminent bust. According to the recent, in addition to the recent raids, South Bay narcotics agents ran a sting operation dubbed Up in Smoke. Why must they dub all their sting operations with a pop pun? Against medical marijuana delivery services, arresting almost 24 suspects, officials accused of, quote, perverting the state's medicinal marijuana law. Santa Clara County Special Enforcement Team Commander Danielle Ayers defended the raids in an interview, saying the marijuana sellers were nothing more than profiteering drug peddlers and that their activities were drawing complaints. She noted the number of marijuana dispensaries has multiplied to 88 in the county, mostly in San Jose, in just 2 years. In recently unsealed affidavits attached to 2 of the raids, narcotics agents accused the dispensaries of selling pot for profit, violating state guidelines that medical marijuana be distributed only by non-profits. In their investigations of Angel's Care, undercover agents who bought marijuana with such names as Orange Kush and Grapefruit Diesel argued in court documents that the operation sold pot for street prices 12 or 13 times the cost of growing it. Quote, I believe it is highly improbable Angel's Care Collective generated no profit from projected annual sales of $5.8 million with a 75% markup on their marijuana, end quote, wrote Agent Dean Ackerman. The thousands of members, Angel's Care reported 6,500 members, had no responsibilities or duties toward their cooperative or collective, documents said, other than the right to purchase pot. And this is a scary story for people in California because, of course, Prop 19 failed at the ballot box. And, you know, Prop 19 would have protected these dispensaries from raids by police, but it didn't make it. And unfortunately, it's looking like Steve Cooley is going to be your next attorney general. He's widened his lead over Kamala Harris from 32,000 votes to 40,000 votes in the counting of these final last straggling votes from the election last week. So looks like you're going to get Steve Cooley, who believes that 100% of the dispensaries operating in Los Angeles County are illegal, who firmly believes that there is no legal selling of marijuana in the state of California. I think about hundreds of thousands of people in California who think I got's mine are in for a tragic lesson over the next couple of years. You're going to be taught by the next attorney general that nonprofit means officers that are paid a modest salary and proceeds that must be returned to the organization. That cooperative means your level of participation has to be more than just purchasing cannabis. That collective means everybody participates in the production of the cannabis. And they're going to find out that there's nothing in California law that recognizes a right to sell cannabis. Now, don't get me wrong. These raids are reprehensible. Anytime we're sending cops in to smash and grab and, you know, ruin people's property and terrorize patients and terrorize people that are using marijuana, it's always a bad thing. And I don't wish for any dispensary to be raided or shut down. I don't even wish for the dispensaries that were against Prop 19 to be raided and shut down. Although, if there are going to be raids and somebody has to prioritize the targets, I do think karma has something coming for Lynette Davies and a few of these other dispensary owners who fought against Prop 19. Still, I don't wish them to get raided. But this whole situation, being the very dark cloud that it is, with Steve Cooley becoming Attorney General, there may be a silver lining here. You know, 46% of California voted for Prop 19. While the support for legalization in general on the Gallup polls is about 58%. So there are about 12% of people who support legalization in concept who didn't support Prop 19. Now, maybe they didn't support it because they didn't like the particular language. Maybe they were swayed by dispensary owners, the stoners against legalization, and their own perceptions that, hey, it's legal enough already. I got a dispensary. I can grow weed. It's only a ticket if I have less than an ounce. Maybe they were convinced by that. Well, these raids And the forthcoming next couple of years of Steve Cooley as Attorney General is really going to wake those people up to realize that the I got's mine ain't that much. That they're going to find out that their rights are only go as far as the law is written and how it's interpreted, and that Steve Cooley's not going to be interpreting it in your favor anytime soon. It's just a shame that a whole bunch of very sick and disabled people are going to have to suffer restricted access so that the anxiety patients from the mosh pit at the Cypress Hill Smokeout can learn a political lesson. But I guess at least Richard Lee won't be getting rich off of George Soros Monsanto Frankenseeds. I guess Philip Morris won't be, selling their toxic swaggy joints, so there's always that. Being a little facetious here, you stoners against legalization, you're going to hear it from me from the next 2 years. Every time there's a raid, every time there's a bust, you could have voted against this, but you didn't. You argued for people to vote against this. It's a shame. Some lessons are harder to learn than others.
This is Normal Show Live, the voice of the marijuana nation.
I'm Radical Russ for Ganja John and Cannabis Carry. Thanks for joining us here for the Hour 1 of Normal Show Live. Coming up, Hour 2, Toker Talk Radio, your calls, and more fun live. And until